there's tons of exciting games coming up, but honestly I haven't seen much hype around Persona Q2. And I don't know why, because the first Persona Q was a lot of fun, and one of the most interesting parts about Persona Q2 is that on the official website, they don't have it listed as a 3DS game anymore. So that makes everybody wonder, is this game coming to Switch? I hope so, because I don't want to play it on 3DS. I want to play it on my Switch, because the Switch is freaking awesome. Play it on the go, play it on your TV, that's the best world, best of both worlds. So yeah, my love for the Persona series started with Persona 4 Golden on PlayStation Vita. Absolutely love that game. One of my favorite games of all time. Had me entranced with the story, the characters. I love the gameplay. I love like the life simulator where you're choosing what you want to do with every single day of the month. A lot of people can't get into that type of game, but honestly, it took me by surprise. And ever since then, I've been way more of a JRPG fan than I've ever been. And then, because of Persona 4 Golden, I went back and played Persona 3 on the PSP version. Love that game. And then, of course, when Persona Q got announced, that was when the 3DS was really thriving, and I was, like, buying every game for it. So, of course, I got it. I loved it. It was a bit different. But anyway, Persona Q2, we don't know much about this game. We assume it's going to be really similar to an Etrian Odyssey title, just like Persona Q1 was. But the question is, are they going to bring in Persona 5 characters, which, another game I absolutely loved, only on PlayStation 4, of course, because I think there's some type of deal that Atlus might have with Sony that like where they can only put the Persona mainline series on PlayStation. I'm not sure, but it's really strange to me that Persona 4 did not come to Switch, because obviously the game could run it. I mean, it's on PlayStation 3, so it would only make sense to bring Persona 5 to Switch. Did I say Persona 4 a second ago? I think I might have. But anyway, Persona 5, I want it on Switch just because I know it'll open it up to a lot of other people who want to play that type of game, but they don't have the type of hours where they can just go home and play a 100-hour JRPG on their couch. But if they can take a 100-hour JRPG with them wherever they go, they're going to love it, which is why I'm super excited for Persona Q2, especially if it comes to Switch. But if it comes to 3DS, I'll probably end up getting it just because I love seeing these characters. That's where the Persona series has always shined the most, in my opinion, at least ever since Persona 3. Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 all have incredible characters, incredible writing, and incredible just story sequences in general. Of course, I love Persona 4 a little bit more than Persona 5, but Persona Q really shook things up as well, and had a bunch of funny scenarios with the Persona 3 characters meeting the Persona 4 characters. It was like a weird, like, fever dream that we never thought was going to happen, and it actually did. Just seeing those characters interact and talk with one another with a lot of the original voice actors was really cool, really memorable. And like I was saying, there's just a lot of really funny moments in that game. And if they're doing Persona Q2, we can only assume that the Persona 5 characters are going to make it in. Are the Persona 3 and Persona 4 characters going to stay in it as well? Or is it just going to be 4 and 5? Honestly, I have no idea. At this point, they might as well just bring them all in, because Persona 3 characters meeting Persona 5 characters sounds like a lot of fun as well. Aside from that, I'm curious how they're going to mix up the gameplay. My main problem with Persona Q1 on 3DS was the fact that it could get a bit repetitive, which a lot of the Persona games do. But in my opinion, this one just felt a little bit worse with the dungeon crawling, like random encounters. Just wasn't really completely my bag, like my favorite type of game. But I went through it and I played it because it's Persona characters, of course. So with Persona Q2, I'm hoping they change things up a little bit. I'm hoping it's a little bit different from Etrian Odyssey. I personally am not really a big fan of first-person dungeon crawling. I would love if they gave us a third-person perspective similar to the mainline series, but of course, it doesn't have to be as robust or anything. I just love seeing characters on screen. But anyway, that's a minor gripe. I don't care if it's first-person dungeon crawling, honestly. I just want them to spice up the gameplay so it's not as repetitive. With Persona Q1, they brought in 2 new characters, which were really interesting. They kind of revolved the story around them a bit, which I wasn't really a fan of. But I want them to bring in some new characters with Persona Q2 as well, just because it's really cool to meet more Persona characters. I mean, they usually nail it every single time. They're always interesting. I don't really have much else to say about this game other than the fact that I really hope it comes to Switch. When I look at Persona Q now, it has a beautiful art style, which I think would age perfectly if they just up-res the original game to like 720p or 1080p. I think it would look great, because as of right now, you just see some rough edges, and it's just not all really there with its resolution and whatnot. Then again, I'm not really a graphics whore. I just want to play it on Switch. Honestly, I don't care about all that stuff. I just love my Switch, and I want to play all my games on that, because I want to play them on my TV and on the go. But let me know what you think. Are you still loving playing games on your 3DS? Are you more into the Switch now? Have you made the complete leap to Switch and completely abandoned the 3DS? Let me know all that below, as well as, do you think Persona Q2 is going to make the leap to Switch? because I really hope it does. But if it doesn't, it's still going to sell a bunch because, let's be honest, the 3DS sold so many and still continues to thrive, which is blowing my mind that Nintendo is able to get this old hardware to thrive really well in 2018, always proving that the power of the hardware doesn't matter to a lot of consumers. But anyway, Persona Q2 E3 2018, I'm assuming it's going to be there. Atlus always has some type of deal with E3 where they always get the lanyards as Persona. Here, I have an example right here actually. Atlus always has the E3 rights to get these lanyards made, and they haven't really announced any huge upcoming games besides the dance titles, which obviously they did use the dance game for this E3, which is really surprising considering this was a Vita exclusive. They had Persona 5 the year after that. I'm not sure what last year was. I don't really know if it was an Atlus game or a Sega game, but anyway, I'm hoping that the next one is Persona Q2. I think that would be really cool. That's all I really got to say about it, though. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Games of E3. Like I said, I'll link my Xbox Enthusiast and PlayStation Enthusiast Games of E3 videos at the end of this. I'm Brett Medlock. Please follow me on Twitter. Come talk to me about my content. Talk about the stuff I post. I want to comment on your stuff because I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later.